Good afternoon. So I have some music in the background you can't hear, which is really good. It always sets the mood, right? So later today at 3:30, I'll be doing free live readings with Sarah, and that's a hard stop, 3:30 to 4. Anyway, if you guys are joining us right now, okay, joining me right now, I say us because I'm always with my guides, guardian angels, however you want to refer to the extra energy of consciousness that we tap into on a regular basis to receive information, right? That's who I'm with. So, hold on. Here we go. There we are. Okay, just turned it down a bit for myself. All right. So, I look at the description that I channeled, right, about like a sparkle brighter than disco balls, which is really kind of awesome. Right now, we're in January 2025. Today's date is the 28th, which is a Tuesday. Currently, the moon is in Capricorn and will reach Aquarius tomorrow. Lunar New Year. All right. With all of those things going on right now, today being the 28th, right? You have, our true node is at 28 degrees. So here's all who's affecting our spirituality today. So communication, because Mercury is in Capricorn at 29 degrees. And then you have Venus in Aquarius at 24 degrees. You have Mars at 21 degrees retrograde, still in Cancer. All right. And Uranus is a little further away, still in retrograde, getting ready to pop out of there. And then we have Neptune at 27 degrees. And all of these are having effects on us because archetypal energies, right? So we can create descriptors to our experience. All right. I just love that. So today is a beautiful day. And if you choose to have fun, you can. All right. I'm going to share the video out a little bit. Oops. Let's see. Okay. All right, great. If you would like to give feedback regarding your experience, or you want some feedback regarding your experience, that's what this show is going to be for. I have only started it today. It's very organic, so I'm allowing it to kind of unfold into like what it's going to become. It is a natural channel. They are wanting to really help us become loving, more love, more authentic, more how we understand that we all matter, right? And in this urge that we're feeling for rightness, for righteousness, it is a calling of our spirit to us to pull forward our soul's path, our purpose, right? Which is to be cohesive and unified eventually, right? No matter what we've created, it has to be unwound. And because it has to be unwound, we're going to have to go back through a lot of the things that we ignored. And that feels like a huge Mercury retrograde, right? So this huge, quote unquote, Mercury retrograde that we're experiencing is going to be illuminated for us. We're going to see people as they are in their fear and their belief system of lack. All right. So when you start seeing things around you that threaten how you feel in respect to your experience, will have a tendency to move into a narrative that supports that fear, that makes it okay to have that fear, that allows the construct that we've created out of a previous experience to protect us from what's happening in the narrative that we're creating in our head. The narrative that we're creating in our head exists because of propaganda. We're given a lot of distraction, Meditation. Life is meditation. Understanding that life is meditation, okay? Because that's what it is. Life is meditation. the way I perceive it, right? I would say they're so gentle and loving. and I'm learning how to feel into understanding. Okay. And what I mean by that is to understand why people are having these deep seated fears come up, and how I can compassionately help them navigate with them, so they understand that that's part of their capabilities. That's the stuff that is like inbred. Okay. It's inbred, right? We talk about incest, but we don't talk about incest of the mind. And we sure enough cultivate that stuff to the nth degree. So the idea is that when you come against resistance of any kind in your experience, your belief system, internal belief system, is being challenged because something is going to shift. A new story is going to ensue. What you believed at that particular moment, you just got new information. So every fucking thing is going to change. All right. In that, you giving yourself grace is tantamount, is like the highest thing that you could do for yourself. That's like the equivalent of love, because you're coming into understanding and compassion for yourself. Being kind, right, is activism at this point, right? Being kind is activism. Okay. So we're all in activism because we are standing for our belief systems, whatever they are. Okay. And we're actively seeking community that feels the same. Find many communities, many, like a lot. Find a lot of them and go into as many different kinds of groups as you possibly can to create as many perceptions for yourself as you're able to. Things that feel like resistance, right? Things that like, ooh, I don't know, because I don't feel like I'm touched directly by something. Okay. But why? Why do you feel that? That feels like privilege. So in your privilege, how could you help someone who is touched by adversity? It doesn't mean that you have to go and work at a soup kitchen, or you have to help people like Mother Teresa out of the streets. Okay. That's not what I'm talking about. Be kind. Just be fucking kind. Be kind to everyone, no matter what their belief system is, because your belief system will not match anyone else's. It's not supposed to. You're a fractal of spirit. We never left spirit. So you are a rendition of the very same form that they are. The very same. The idea is to understand that you're enough, right? So that energy right there that we're feeling right there when I'm channeling, right? I'm learning. This is what I'm learning. I'm learning to stay outside of the antagonism and rage, because you can feel that. Okay. And it makes you want to push back. Okay. And the reason it makes you want to push back is because you're resistant to knowing who you are, and dipping into like your reasons. Okay. Helps you understand more what the charge is and where it came from, because that's the magnet that's pulling in the same experience. That's the magnet. The idea is just to give yourself grace. Grace is like the best thing that you can. You can say, oh, wow, I did my best. And not follow it with, but my best wasn't good enough. Follow it with like, this is great. I'm in the middle of the experience. I'm in the middle of the experience. This is the information I was willing to look at. Do I feel like I was in limitation when I was looking at that experience? Do I feel like I didn't have enough information? Allowing yourself to be the authority in your life, because you're the one who's really going to know you. A lot of people will tell you about you and say, this is what I see, but that's only right now energy. That's not your core. It's not who you will be in a minute. And you're the only one who knows who that is or what that looks like. Giving yourself that grace and knowing that change is going to be imminent. It's going to happen. But when you feel that resistance as you're going into it, or you feel that energy that you're trying to stay out of, right? Recognize it in yourself. Recognize it in yourself to understand that you're capable too of that rage, that you're capable too of that anger, that desperation, that fear, that lack. When you can recognize that, you're checking boxes basically inside of your nervous system and your cellular information. And you're saying, do I still have a high charge of victimhood? Do I still feel like things are being done to me? Okay. Change language inside of your head as you're speaking. What's being done for me today by the universe, right? What's being done for me? What's being revealed to me about myself that I get to look at today? And be kind. Be kind to you first, because then you know how to be kind to others. Love you, so you learn how to love others. Because when you love you and begin accepting you for who you are, all the choices, giving yourself permission, knowing that everything is in perfection. Perfection has been made to not be appreciated. And perfection is what we are. We are derivatives of perfection consistently. No matter where you are, what has happened, it equates to perfection. Perfection is something that's never had a standard before. And you've never had a standard before. One was created outside of you by someone else because of their opinion and how they wanted to sell you shit. Okay? That's what that shit is. Okay? You are your opinion. You are your opinion. You're your authority. You're the one who's going to be accountable to your story. So when the magnet pulls in something adverse and you begin to work on it because you think it's yours, right? The idea is to sit for a second, chill the fuck out, just chill out. Look, look, look to see what is inside. What story is going on? You know, yesterday when I woke up, there was a lot of rage in the air. All right. I didn't ascribe it to anything. I just felt it. And I knew that I was waking up into something that wasn't me. I knew this. I felt into it a little bit and I couldn't really shake it because I wasn't willing to look at why I was being affected. Why would I be affected if I'm not walking around rage filled and focused in that way? What happens if I'm not really angry, but I'm powerless, right? What happens if I give myself right words to understand and describe my true experience? What if I allow them to be empowering words, right? If I feel powerless in a situation, that means I can't control a person, place, or thing. That's all that is. That's it. It's very simple. So the only thing I can control in that circumstance is what I feel I can control. If I feel I can control my emotions, all right, then I will choose different emotions to describe to my body and my nervous system what my experience is. If I am caught in the middle of the experience and I am reflective of something else that's happened, then I'm going to act in accordance with that charge. That charge might be anger, okay? Angry at being powerless, okay? Being powerless is a natural state because we're taught that you shouldn't be. We are very powerful. Feeling powerless means you're trying to exert your power over another circumstance. Okay? Breathe. Breathe. What it comes down to at the end of the day is to maybe allow yourself the love that you are to describe your day. What I've begun giving to some of my students, all right, who are moving into the next level, if you will. There aren't really levels. It is that you get done with a body of work. It starts to really become a lifestyle paradigm practice. And you feel like you still want to grow. You still want to learn more. There's an avarice inside of you that draws you forward. Okay. because this path opens up more and more and more and more. It's very expansive. You can focus into any direction on this path and be met with goodness because you allow it. Okay? Powerlessness is something that we all experience. We experience it when we're at the end of the road of a particular experience. That's it. It's at the very end. We have no resource in that moment to change things externally for us. What can we change internally that would help us and benefit us, that would feel supportive, that would feel like that we're enough? Okay? Because we are perfect. We are perfect. There's so much beauty in who we are. So much love. So much compassion. And that's where our power is. That's where our true power is. In that connective, collective consciousness of goodness. That's when we feel aligned. We don't feel like we're resistant. We don't feel like we're pushing against something that's greater than us, because that's just a vibe. It's just a fucking vibe. Change the vibe. You can command your energy experience through thought and emotion, and determine how you want to experience what shows up. And that is your experience. I want a red car. A blue car that's broke down shows up. Now, you could assign that to like, oh, my vibration was like this, and so now that happened, and blah, blah, blah. But do you see? You're just creating a story over what showed up to mirror whatever thoughts and emotions you wish to feel in that experience. That's it. Be the authority in your life. You're the one who's going to be accountable to yourself. You're the one who's going to, in the end, tell yourself whether you get heard, whether you're lovable, or whether you're enough. And you're all three. You're all three. And it isn't get in where you fit in. It's not fake it till you make it. It is acceptance. Acceptance. Acceptance to what is, acceptance of who you are, acceptance of what you would like to be next, because it's never ending. Never ending, right? This particular rendition, I do encourage a lot of people, I guess I could call it a reincarnation, right? Rendition, whatever you want to refer to it as. I'm encouraging people to embody their physical experience, so that way they become that power force, that magnet, to where they can connect their physical world with their energetic world and have a beautiful experience and cultivate that love that they know exists, right? I know that a lot of I'm going to say it anyway. Lucinda's afraid to say it a little bit, but they're not. So with people who consider themselves light workers, healers, people who are here to hold space for others who are going through what they've already been through, thank you very much for your service. I think that all of us are that. Not light workers and healers. I think that we're all community. I think that community is where we're going to find our connection to who we really are, how we can be of service and hold space physically, mentally, and emotionally for others, as well as have them hold space for us. It needs to be that way because we're processing all of the distraction. We're processing all of the stories. And there's a myriad of stories of what we're experiencing. Give yourself that grace that I keep talking about. Grace is this beautiful energy of acceptance and divine understanding. That's what I would call it. Divine understanding that you are enough, right? We have life as a meditation that I mentioned earlier. We get up, we think about how we want to start our day. We might have to go to work, run an errand, take care of someone, take care of ourselves, have a practice that we want to follow. And when we wake up, we have an intention. The intention is to reach wherever it is that we're going. Okay? In that, we have a lot of little steps that we take to get there. Those little steps are all rituals and practices. That's how you would correlate it to this language of metaphysics. Okay, physical, I mean, philosophical, spiritual aspects. Okay, that's what metaphysics is, spiritual philosophy. Okay, so in that, it gives you science extracts, quantum mechanics. It lets you know that you can manipulate energy. You're doing it already. You breathe, you're manipulating energy. You blink, you're manipulating energy. Your body might feel like it does it all by itself. It does to a degree, but your body doesn't think so. Your body knows it is working. Your body knows what it's supposed to do. It has that knowing. And because we're in that knowing energy, we take it for granted. We think, oh, yes, this is how this is going to work. However, if we meet adversity anywhere along the line, it knocks us off our teeter-totter, right? And we don't know what happened. And then we dust ourselves off, we figure out a plan, and then we get back on the teeter-totter, so to speak. That's meditation. Meditation is learning that you can sit still with who you are, accept what is, and let go of expectation. Expectation is, that's everything. We do that all the time. It's not bad. If we set expectations for others, right? I know that I've grown an awful lot for expectations. Expectations are wonderful to me. Their desires, wouldn't it be nice? I would like to have, that experience would be cool. And those are all expectations. Allowing those expectations to have energy and sentience, right? Because I have a feeling about it. That's what sends it out into the universe. And then it comes back in that feeling when I match it again. So if I match that vibrational ask, if you will, and I let go of that vibration, it may not show up again until I can hold that vibration again. But if I am set in a particular vibration and it is from lack, and I don't change how I'm feeling, then I'm going to get lack back. And that's meditation. Meditation is learning how to focus yourself into the true vibrational offering that you want. Is being able just to pull yourself this way, mind, body, spirit, into where you'd like to be. It isn't mastery. It's knowing that you're enough. It's acceptance of what is. Through recognition of what your circumstances currently are, it will allow you to choose something that is contrary if you're finding adversity. Contrary action is the easiest way to take yourself out of adversity. It will allow you to create a new pattern. If you recreate the same pattern, you're going to have the same adversity. That's meditation. Being gentle when you find that you have yet again not gotten out of the hole that you dug in the first place, your rabbit hole. You merely took another tunnel. That's how you pull yourself back to your focus of where it is that you would like to be. That's meditation. When you start talking to yourself and you allow yourself to understand that meditation is an energy, it's a state of being. It's one where you're not heavily invested in the physical realm, and your internal realm gets a lot of recognition to where you can see yourself, you can hear yourself, you can love on yourself, right? To where you're like, wow, okay, I've been doing really good. Assessments are great in the morning. They're good at night. Motive checkers, I like to call them. At the end of the day, it's good to ask yourself, have I been the best person that I could be today? And where you find yourself, where you could have said something a different way or shown up in a different way, give yourself a lot of understanding, and compassion. And if you feel that that adverse reaction wasn't called for, then check to find out how old you were feeling in that exchange. And if you're feeling a certain age, right? Like, let's say you're feeling like you were when that person at school was teasing you and it was really awful and you were in elementary, all right? And now all of a sudden you're feeling that powerlessness again to make somebody do what you want, which is shut the fuck up in the moment, right? Okay. But you're feeling that powerlessness. That's like a core. It's a core, all right, to who you are. It has a charge. It has this, it's like overpacked, overstocked with energy. And it draws you like a magnet because it has an answer. It has an answer because you created a construct. That particular construct was made at that age during that experience. And it continues to show up until you recognize it, accept it, and allow it to lessen, the charge to lessen. And that's why we encourage sitting with like your emotions and your feelings, right? Our nervous system and sensory awareness in our heart brain is built for that. That's what it's built for. That's our physical experience. That's why we have that. We have a thought brain and we have a feeling brain. And our body illuminates all of it. So anyway, I never know what they're going to say. Today, apparently, this was enough. So I'm going to pull a rune for the week, and then I'll pull a rune for the week. I'm feeling like a lot right now. Ooh, okay. Ooh, the rune of partnership. Ooh, remember how we talked about building your community? Build your community. The people that you hang out with, the people you're of service to, that's your community. That's your community. And being of service, right? Those are the people that you want to be responsible to, because you're finding things inside internally of yourself that you are changing. You're finding all these little hacks, all these little ways to do it. And sharing it with others helps them, allow them to accept themselves. And we become more cohesive in understanding that we're not what the external world says we are. We're what our internal world says we are. And so we start to let go of these definitions that were laid on us through energetic transfers as we were growing up. So this particular rune is partnership gift. Okay. It's Gebo. X marks the spot. That's what they said. Drawing this rune is an indication that partnership in some form is at hand in love relationships, in business matters, and partnering of every kind. You're put on notice not to collapse yourself into that union. For true partnership is achieved only by separate and whole beings who retain their separateness even as they unite. Remember to let the winds of heaven dance between you. While you're of service, you still have to service you. You still have to take care of you. Remember the oxygen mask thing. First you, then you could save the plane. Okay? At the same time, there's another aspect of partnership that you're being called to consider. For the path of partnership can lead you to the realization of still greater union. Union with the higher self. Union with the divine. The ultimate gift of this rune is the realization of the divine in all things. God always enters into equal partnerships. Gebo, the rune of partnership, has no reverse, for it signifies the gift of freedom from which flow all other gifts. That's it. Pretty good, huh? Blessings to all of you. I'll see you at 3:30. Thank you very much for joining me today. Bye.